Hey Mena Warriors, welcome back to my channel where I share weekly videos with you every Monday to discuss something menopause related. Today I'm discussing, when you're lying in bed at night and you feel like you've got aliens moving around in your belly. I'm talking about bloating and sort of distended stomachs. This is a complaint that so many ladies struggle with, and I think often we don't relate it to the menopause, but quite often it is down to the menopause. So that's what I'm going to be chatting about today. Be really interested to hear, do you get bloating? Do you have more gas? Do you get more constipation? Let's chat about it, because these things shouldn't be embarrassing, and we all have a certain motility, and whether it comes easily or not so easily, there are things that you can do to correct it. So if it's the first time you've come across me, I help instill belief in you that you can actually thrive through the menopause rather than just survive or literally claw your way through it. I have nothing against hormone replacement therapy. I cannot talk about that myself because I've never taken it. All I'm doing is sharing the experiences that have worked really well for me, and also the ladies that I work with in my health and wellness community. So there's a lot of us. The systems work that we use, they are not completely foolproof. I still have hot flushes. I've got terrible brain fog at the moment because I've got so many things going on. We are not invincible, and the idea is not to be perfect. The idea is just to do the best that we can, given the resources that we've got. So I thought I would go over bloating because I know it's something that I've experienced and loads of other ladies that I talk to experience. And this isn't I'm talking about the bloating that you're getting at night time. So you're waking up and you're thinking, oh my goodness, you feel your stomach and it's like you've got aliens in it, or you've got hillocks growing in it and you can actually move them around, and it is that gas. Well, one of the main reasons for that is the changing hormones, obviously down to the menopausal hormones. So it's the falling levels of estrogen that's actually slowed down our motility. There are other things that we ought to take into consideration as well. As our estrogen levels fall, our cortisol levels, one of our stress hormones, tends to rise. And we can also, the sort of mucous membranes inside our bodies start to atrophy and dry up, and the joys. And this can all lead to like a weakening of the lining of our digestive system, a sensitivity to our digestive systems. We can even start to develop food intolerances or sensitivities that we may not have had beforehand. So there's a multitude of things that might be going on, but generally estrogen on the whole will slow down how things are going through, or how things are passing through your body. Now, you hear me talk a lot about eating more vegetables. The more fiber that we can eat, generally the better, as long as you don't have an irritable bowel or something along those lines where you have to be careful with fiber. But on the whole, I talk a lot about cruciferous vegetables because they contain a compound called DIM, which really helps us through the menopause. It can help to subdue hot flashes or flushes. It just helps us reduce so many different aspects of the menopause. But cruciferous vegetables also can lead to bloating in certain people, particularly if you are new to eating a lot of fiber. You might find that you're quite uncomfortable. So if you are doing really well and you're adding more vegetables and fruit to your daily diet, and I say diet as in food that you eat, not diet as in restriction, make sure that you're also drinking plenty of water and that you're moving. Exercise, again, will help everything process through faster. So you want to be adding the fiber, but doing movement and also drinking more water also to make sure that it goes through easily. Now, if you have been eating cruciferous vegetables for a while and you're still getting a lot of bloating, you can back off a little, eat things that are not quite so fiber filled, but you can get a DIM supplement from your health shop. So you're still going to be getting the benefits of eating the cruciferous vegetables without so much of the bloating. I recommend that everybody who has bloating follows a food diary. You might find that you've got sensitivities that you've developed over the last few years that you didn't have before. That might be oats. It could be you're more sensitive to sugar or processed food. It could be gluten. If you drink beer, it could be that you need to drink gluten-free beer. I know a lot of people will say, well, just go teetotal. A lot of people don't want to go teetotal. A lot of people like social drinking. So I think, you know, we have to sort of try and put this into a larger context of how we can incorporate the lifestyles that we enjoy, but also try and avoid some of the bloating that comes with that. You could just drink more wine. That's gluten-free. So, you know, maybe change your drinking habits, or try it for a short period of time to see if you notice a reduction in the gas that you're getting. Now, as a sports massage therapist, and I work or have worked previously in hospice before, when people are going through chemotherapy, often they get really, really constipated. It really slows down how the digestive system works. So I've dealt with a lot of people who have got serious constipation. One of the best things that you can do when you're lying in bed, first of all, I'd say get up and have a wee. Most of us need to get up and have a wee anyway, particularly if you're drinking enough water during the day. Get up and move. That in itself will help the gas that's trapped help to move around in your belly, and you'll find that it'll start to come out. And once you've got back to bed, you could even stretch up as well, and, you know, do it like a big stretch, and then that again is going to help open up this area. Once you've got back to bed, then lie down and just gently in a clockwise direction, because that's the way the colon goes. So the colon is our large intestine. You want to go in the direction of the anus, so that the air is going to come out. So basically gently in a clockwise direction, just smooth your hand over your belly around, and just go round and round a few times. And then once you've done that a few times, pretend that's your belly, because otherwise you can't really see mine. You can do small circular movements as well, going in a clockwise direction. Don't try and work out whether I'm going in a clockwise direction here or not. Am I? I don't think I am. It's all back to front either, so that makes it even more complicated. But make sure it's in a clockwise direction, and you're just doing small little circular movements around the sort of the outside of your belly. You'll find that things are going to start to move. You might not get everything. Don't try and like scoop and pull it all round. The stomach, the digestive system's incredibly good. It will start to push the gas through for you, but just know that by doing gentle massage, you're going to encourage the movement of that gas as well. You might need to go dairy free. In fact, I did this for the first time ever today. I had Greek yogurt on toast instead of butter. Now, I know Greek yogurt is still dairy. You can get Greek yogurt from cow's milk, but I did it because of the live bacteria, and also butter can really be a problem for people with a dairy sensitivity. I don't think I have got a dairy sensitivity. A lot of people will write and say, all of us have got a dairy sensitivity, just to varying degrees. But maybe try Greek yogurt. I know it sounds really random. Greek yogurt on toast. It's actually really, really nice with no butter. I did add an egg on top with a few spices and an avocado, half an avocado as well. It made a really, really nice meal. But just give that a try. It's nice flavour. I actually thought the flavour combination was really, really good. You could drink kombucha. You want things that are going to promote gut health. Kombucha is full of healthy bacteria. It's dead easy to eat. You could make your own kefir. I make my own kombucha. It's a lot cheaper than the shop bought stuff and a lot healthier. My sugar content is really, really low in my kombucha. I ferment it for quite a long time. I use all sorts of different flavorings. Once I've bottled it, or once I go through like a 2 process. So I ferment it, and then I flavor it for a few days, and then I bottle it. It is divine. It's lovely. So if you're sort of keen on kombucha brewing, send me a message, because my free group isn't active at the moment. I'm not going in there actively running sessions. However, there's loads of information in there for you, so you're more than happy to have a look around there. And you know, it's day 1 through till day 14 or 15 that we did, so you can always go in there and have a look. Make sure you're moving regularly, plenty of water. You want to be keeping a food diary and a drink diary, I would say, because then you will find there are patterns that you're going to spot, which you may never ever have thought about. Do consider gluten-free beer. And also, finally, do you find that you've got a smelly breath, or have you developed smelly breath? that could be down to something called SIBO, which is basically it's the bacterial overgrowth in the small intestine, so small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. If you've got that, you would probably need to see a healthcare professional. It's just an imbalance of the bacteria, but they can help you get the healthy bacteria back in abundance and sort of nuke some of the not so good bacteria in there. You'll find that, you know, a lot of bad breath doesn't necessarily come from the mouth, it comes from what's below that, so the digestive system. So if you're struggling with bad breath, it could well be that you've just got a sort of imbalance of your gut bacteria. But don't stress about that, and please don't be embarrassed about it either. Though, like thrush, like UTIs, they, you know, because we're changing during the menopause, these things can raise their heads more often. So it's just a matter of, if you've noticed changes, go and get it checked with your doctor, and it might be that they can prescribe or suggest that you take some specific probiotic supplements to help balance the overgrowth of those negative bacteria, you know, reduce the amount of negative bacteria and repopulate the healthy bacteria that you need in your gut. It's just so important that we maintain a healthy gut biome, also because it's so important for our mental health. So many of our feel-good hormones get created in our gut, not in our brain, and when our gut health is off, so is our mental health. Also, when our gut health is off, it can lead to leaky gut. It can lead, when we have leaky gut, then that leads to inflammation within the body itself, and then that can lead to all sorts of inflammatory disorders. And further down the line, you might be developing things like lupus, fibromyalgia, etc., etc. So it's not one of those things you want to ignore. You don't need to panic about it, but do take, you know, start to take baby steps in order to get on top of it. But the bloating in and of itself, you'll find maybe that some nights are worse than others. It's likely to be something that you've eaten. So I would really recommend you start to take a food and drink diary and work out what that might be. And then you know that you can remove that from your diet and find healthy alternatives. So thank you for your time today. Thank you for your company. And if you've got anything that you'd like me to include in a future episode, please let me know, and make it a great week.